still like twice a week.
That was regular?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're somewhere in between, it can get kind of funny. You either do it every day or every other day, or you just stop doing it. Because if you're in between,
Can't do it.
you don't give your body the time for the levels, the oil levels.
How often do you wash your hair?
Every day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm at every other day. Beard and hair. Do you wash your beard?
Every day. I wash my beard every day.
Really?
Yes.
And condition or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I use this stuff called Viking Revolution.
Wow. That's a great beard product name.
Yeah. Well, I used to use Grave before shave. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I haven't.
But yeah, the Viking Revolution stuff. I get it off of Amazon. It's pretty cheap. It's good, and it's argan oil and eucalyptus. So I mean, it's all natural and shit.
Yeah.
And I use this stuff I got in Boone. Actually, Adam's wife Ashley got this beard oil. This sexy cinnamon smooth or some random like that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty badass. It's all natural.
Yeah. I kind of gave up on beard oils. It's hard to find one that's not super spicy or so fragrant. That hair is right underneath your nose.
Sexy cinnamon
to your nostrils.
smooth.
Yeah. Well, I usually don't
like
do that. I usually just do the bottom.
It's pretty badass. All natural.
Yeah.
I've been chopping the bottom off, like,
Yeah, you just like pull it out and cut it.
yeah.
I just took like, I don't know if you noticed, but I took inches
Yeah.
off of mine.
There's
It's
yeah.
baby beard. Yeah.
I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world, and we're gonna get into the content.
I've been chopping the bottom off, like,
You
but,
just like pull it out and cut it.
we don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special.
Yeah.
There's
Baby beard. Yeah.
I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world, and we're gonna get into the content.
I've been chopping the bottom off, like,
You just like pull it out and cut it.
We don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special.
yeah.
How do you spell your name? Yeah, we get your name.
I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world.
Did you drop the
I've been chopping the bottom off, like,
You just like pull it out and cut it.
you don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special.
Yeah. How do you spell your name?
I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world. I've been chopping the bottom off, like,
You just like pull it out and cut it.
you don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special. Yeah. How do you spell your name? I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world. I've been chopping the bottom off, like, pull it out and cut it. You don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special. Yeah. How do you spell your name? I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world. I've been chopping the bottom off, like, pull it out and cut it. You don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special. Yeah. How do you spell your name? I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world. I've been chopping the bottom off, like, pull it out and cut it. You don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special. Yeah. How do you spell your name? I haven't noticed it until just now because I'm looking at it in the light. But anyway, so yeah, we're live to the world. Hey, I usually don't do that. I usually live to the world. I'm about to share on Facebook that we're live to the world. chopping the bottom off. Like, you don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special. Yeah, I haven't done it. Yeah, we're live. I'm about to share on Facebook. Chopping the bottom off. Like, you don't have anything planned. Don't expect anything special.
It seems like it's such a futuristic, like, kind of left-wing kind of thing. In the first place.
It really is.
You're like, you know, it's not the DEA conservative guy. Doesn't drive a Tesla.
Yeah, these people don't give a shit.
I mean, they're typically wealthy, I would imagine, right? Isn't a Tesla expensive?
Well, they released the newer model ones that they're like starting at like 30-something thousand.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Still, you'd probably be a tree hugger or some kind of dork or something to drive a Tesla.
One would think.
I want, not to say, like, I want one.
Not to say.
Not to say, like,
I want one.
It's a bad thing. Yeah.
Those cars are pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, if there was places around here that we could pull in and charge them.
Exactly. Let's get that thing a little closer there to you, Brother Jeremy.
Yeah.
All right, so we are now hot on the audio. We got a pretty good bit of
audio.
content on the video. You guys are going to have to watch the YouTube video to get all the goods out of this one, ladies and gentlemen.
You have to do it.
But we were talking about all sorts of good things. I'm sorry, I've been doing technological things over here for just a little bit.
Let's switch to. Switch out of that.
Nah, we got to talk about beard oil, guys. You guys are missing out on a lot if you're just listening. You have to watch the YouTube. So the voices that you hear are that of Jeremy Dunham and Kerrine Gifford of the fantastic duo of Sweet Sweet. Not only duo, but also other members as well.
Yeah. Sometimes.
So, when did you guys realize that what you had was different than everything else around you? And do you realize how different that is?
I haven't realized it yet.
Yeah, right.
No.
It's hard to. I think the difference is, and I've been in a lot of music, endeavors and projects over the years, and not to say that there hasn't been a lot of the things that I've done had people kind of respond to it, but I think this project was the first one that it was like an overwhelming response, and it was kind of like the same. It was a different response that I had never had anybody tell me before, but there was, a lot of people over and over and over again saying just strange things, not like you guys are really good or I really liked it, or it was more, I needed this. You guys changed my night. Like I had a bad week, and tonight now I'm better. And when somebody says something like that to you, it's like,
That's such a heavy compliment.
yeah, I'm like, okay, like eventually I don't know, it was probably about after a year or so of us doing it, because the first year was,
First year of anything.
we were trying to figure out what it was. We weren't very confident in it, so we were just kind of playing around. And by the end of that year, I think, we started getting compliments or whatever, just testimonials. I almost kind of say, like it's just, and we.
Well, that's what they are.
Each other, yeah. Finally said to each other, I'm like, this is a little bit, or at least I told her, I was like, I haven't had this before. This is weird. Like people are saying heavy stuff to us at the end of the night where I don't know, like I feel like we have to do this now. Like it was a side project in the beginning. I had a bunch of stuff going on. Kerrine had stuff going on, so we just sort of started this as a sort of what would happen, or we had been playing together in other things, but never as just this focused thing. We weren't sure what was going on. We didn't have anything, we didn't expect anything from it.
So when saying that you haven't noticed that that you guys are different, what do you mean by that? Now, when I say different, I mean like you create this experience in people that I think, like, when you go see a lot of gigs, this is like, okay, this band is great.
Right.
But when you guys are like, you change the entire room, and that's not something that normal bands do. So that's what I mean by that. Now, and you,
Yeah. I guess I noticed just, playing all these different places in town, like, we're still able to play what we want to play and somehow get away with it. I don't know how we do it, but, like,
For other musicians out there, they know what that means.
yes,
Yeah, like-
yeah. Well, I've said that a lot on this podcast.
If you can get away with being yourselves and making a show, in a town like that's not super artistic and open for that kind of concept, just because of the way this area's developed.
Yeah, it caters to the covers and things like that in this area.
Yeah, entertainment. Like, it's like everybody's trying to they want you to be entertaining. And you don't even know. So you might be your first time coming to a place, and they're just like, "Are you entertaining? I hope you are. Because people need to be entertained." And so, like,
Well, in the beginning, when we were getting gigs, that was sort of a deal. When you were getting the gig, you would go and talk to the bar owner, and they'd be like, "Well, how many people are you going to bring in?"
that was the old question. Yeah, I haven't dealt with that question in forever.
In a long time, exactly. That was in the very beginning of when I was playing music, and that was just like a big deal that you're supposed to send like a press kit or whatever, and send like your flyers and
course.
proof
Do the
that you
promotional,
asked. Yeah, you could do your
coming
promotion. This
back
was
up.
pre-internet,
Yeah.
like when it was widespread anyway.
It's actually come back up with us now that it's just this town that you don't really need to do that.
Yes.
Right.
Or this area, but like outside of here, yeah, you definitely, if you're traveling 10 hours, wherever outside of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
it's not the place. The place isn't really going to ask you like how many people do you bring. They're just like at the end of the night, if you didn't bring anybody, they're just like, well, have a
We
nice
won't
night."
see you next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we won't see you next time, or like, there's definitely no money. Like,
Yeah.
and we've been like, very many states away, and just kind of at the end of the night, it's just like, I'm like, settle up and get it. And they're like, no, there's no money. You didn't bring anybody, or you didn't bring enough people.
Oh man.
So it's just
Well,
like, and
that's
it's just
how it
like
goes. That's
goose
just
egg.
how it is.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
And-
it is what it is. Yeah,
and
it's
we're
that's art in general. It's. Are you making something that people are wanting to do to are attracted to enough to
Yeah.
like get up and go to, like, or are you just playing in front of people that are just happen to be there, and like, I came here for a steak, and the music was really good, but I didn't come here for that.
yeah, and that's something that we sort of talked about earlier, and I don't want to jump that far down that rabbit
Sure.
hole or
Yeah.
whatnot, but a lot of folks don't understand, and I try to do in this podcast my best, at least, to explain to civilians what being a musician is like. And a lot of folks don't understand that there are these side effects to the things that we want to do, and as far as getting out on the road and going far and traveling to get our music out, which is a good idea. And if you think about it from the outside looking in, but sometimes does not prove to be financially frugal. And let's be real, that's what most of us do this thing for.
Yeah.
So, how often is that the case when you find going on the road is not like, I think that just about, like, for instance, we're going up to Boone this weekend, and I'm pretty sure that this may be a break even or less trip for us. And I wonder, how often is that the case?
Well, as often as we do, like, well, if we're just doing like 3-4 hour shows,
Yeah, there's always solid money in that.
Right.
You just got to budget, okay, and it's usually come out on top a little bit.
yeah, but there's definitely times when it's definitely it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I also think that it's a balance for us, at least it is, and maybe it's different for other people, but I think it's a balance between we want to do this thing, so we're willing, and also it's not really about money unless it becomes about money. When that's your only form of income, it's always about money, but you don't really want to live your life thinking, unless the money's right, I'm not doing it, because that's not really.
Especially when this thing is something that you love.
Yeah, it's not about money. The whole thing that you're doing is not a money thing, but you made it a money thing. So, and you need money to pay your things. So you're driven by that, but you have to learn how to definitely not to separate from that and say, even though I need money, I need to do this thing that doesn't pay anything, but it pays in other things.
I put on Twitter the other day that being a non-famous musician is about 10% talent and 90% just being okay with being poor.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, yeah. If anybody, out there knows musicians, you would know that it's not we're not living large.
Yeah, it takes a very, very long time of being average to like the random, if the music gods reach down and grab one of us out of every few thousand every now and again, that'll get a little bit of a kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, we're just basically trying to pay our bills and not do shit that we don't want to do to make that money.
Yeah, it's true. We were good at a thing, and I think anybody would want that.
Yeah.
To make their living doing their thing, but it's not that lucrative. It's funny though, because there is so many. I'm sure to like this simpleton that doesn't really know about it, like they look at musicians like, oh, Justin Timberlake, he's rich. Yeah. Being a musician makes you rich, right? And it's like, no.
You like see him out there hustling doing them commercials, don't you? That means he needs fucking money. He's broke like us. You think fucking Brett Favre wants to sell Wranglers and copper fits? No. They need money. They're broke. We're all broke. Everybody's broke. Just be fine with that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get philosophical
I guess we do
in this
like
one.
the equivalent.
Yeah.
We do like. We'll sell out sometimes, I guess.
Sure.
Listen, and we'll do the same thing, I guess, in a sense to where if something needs to be done, we'll do it, even though we're like, man, my character does not want me to do this. But all right, so given the opportunity to where somebody is holding a contract in front of you saying that they're going to sign you to a record deal, but you know that would mean them tinkering a little bit with your sound or doing what record companies do. Yeah, do you think you would sign that piece of paper?
I don't think I would do it.
No.
Not
I'm so happy to hear that.
Not in this day of age. Like, I think that it'd be hard to. Maybe it was just because I would be younger or the industry changed, but I don't know. I've heard too many
horror stories about this.
It just sounds not worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think with things like these like variety shows and such.
Yeah, it's a different game now.
Yeah,
they just kind of want to mold you into something that they.
Something they already have 100 other.
Yeah, but not to say that there are a lot of record labels. The independent record label that used to be this really small kind of artsy thing that wasn't really. Those have risen and become. So you can still get a record deal, and actually, but the record deals you get nowadays, I think, there's a bunch of companies that will like the way you are. They wouldn't pick you up just to change you. They're not going to
pick you up to let you say the same.
To let you say the same because you have something magical, and they're just like, fits our thing. This is what we're doing here, and you're already doing it, and let's just make us a team. I think that's a record deal I would
take.
I would work with a Rick Rubin or a Jimmy Iovine any day.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think. But if it's just like,
I mean, that's the Avett Brothers. That's what kind of came to my mind recently. We were just watching that documentary.
Oh man,
and it's
is it not? Does that not just waken your soul?
It really does. I love those ones that really move you.
Yeah,
that shovels and
motivate
rope one.
you.
Yeah, the shovels and rope one was really good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's definitely great. It's like watching something happen and being
in
filmed
real time.
and it just leaves you with this really positive feeling. Like, especially as a musician, you're like, yes.
That's what I needed. Like when you say people come up to you and say that after your gig. That's the different that you guys are is instead of just playing music for them, you move people, and I really appreciate that about y'all. That documentary though, the Avett Brothers thing, was unreal.
Yeah,
how I just loved seeing how well they work together as siblings, because I think of like, man, I could not work that close with somebody. Like I equate that to like Adam and Smitty. Because I'm like, dude, I would fucking have to shoot somebody if I had to spend this much time with somebody. And they literally, like, it seems like they can't be around each other enough. Like, on the way home after leaving each other, they probably are on the phone like, hey, man. I don't know why, but I got that out of that.
And they both, and it even says that, like, they both live right down the road from each other at the same time, which is also right down the road from their parents' place.
Yeah.
Wait, are they related?
Who? Who, the Avett Brothers?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Smitty and... I was like... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, wait, they're not related.
That would have been so good if you were talking about the Avett Brothers. You're like, are they really brothers?
I thought it was just a name.
Like, I thought it meant like brothers. I thought... I don't know if you've... I'm not sure your sibling situation is, but I had two brothers, and I played a lot of music with them, and it was I can see where they were coming from, but at the same time, those testimonials from the band, their other bandmates, they're like hired guns, and the people they've kept on for a while, like they kind of almost made it a family within that, and even just I don't know, it kind of blew me away what those people were saying about how like this doesn't happen. You don't see two brothers even getting along that well to like. It was cool. I thought it was a cool insight.
Great insight into the music world.
Yeah,
watch that thing.
It's like watching them live. I don't know if you've seen them live, but
I went to Thursday at the House of Blues this year.
Yeah, I always it's probably the only band actually that I almost like force people or try to tell people like you have to see this live,
dude,
because they've changed me.
It's
I listened to them a bit, and then I kind of just like went to the first show I wasn't super into them, and it just blew me away. I was like, that is the difference between... Even if you try to show somebody on a record, you're just like, this is the Avett Brothers. I saw them, and it's like, yeah, that's right. No.
It's like, no, but you have to see
it. Yeah, you have to see it. And I think that documentary kind of even added to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember...
you have to see this documentary, actually.
I remember when it was just the two of them and Bob, and I saw them at the Echo Project in Atlanta. And it was just, I had never heard acoustic instruments that loud.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I was like, oh, fuck, this is insane.
Yeah.
And they were just slamming on a hi-hat and the kick drum and just doing the same thing they do now, just with more people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I saw them at House of Blues and that light show.
It was like punk almost or something.
It is very punk. Well,
this is rock and roll.
As the documentary states, they were in a punk band in the beginning.
Right, yeah.
Not to give too much away, you got to go watch it for yourself, folks.
True that. True. You should watch it.
But I don't think that we're too far away from... And I'm going to tie something, just an immediate thought into this. Oh, I love when this happens. I think that this area, with all of the people who are doing their own video things, and ever since Wolfpack is doing this stuff, how they film everything themselves. Are you familiar with the Wolfpack stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, that is sort of beginning a little Myrtle Beach revolution of like with what Connor's doing.
Connor,
and
those guys definitely pulling from that idea.
Yeah.
Smart.
You guys are not far, and I'm not too wrong when I call things usually. I brag about this, and my listeners are used to hearing me being a narcissist. But I'm usually right when I call things, and you guys aren't far from having a documentary made about you. And that may be a kickstart to this little Myrtle Beach artsy thing that we've got going on about it, and I love to watch it from the comforts of my home.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that we're moving there.
I think we are.
So
I think it'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah. Who's going to do it?
Yeah. Well, we've
consider this the beacon that has been sent out that we need the documentary of Sweet Sweet
SMS,
immediately before the hurricane takes us all away from.
No, we've had. I think Ruben Long and Michael Hux have both helped us capture what's happened so far. We've had friends that have been kind of keeping track of it, and I think that's what makes a good documentary too. Is some of it is filmed. It needs to be filmed in the crux of when things are about really happening. But then to have all this old footage of showing where you were, that's what really kind of shows it well. And so we've been doing that old footage stuff, which isn't old footage yet, but we've been filming things.
It's all old.
Hopefully, there'll be a moment where it's like, now's the time.
Gosh, I can't wait for that. And I say that from a place of selfishness because I want to know these stories, and I'm not speaking about you guys in particular because we're obviously good at talking to each other, but I love watching people's story like without having to speak, like having to interact because I'm such a bad human, which is why I speak into a microphone and not directly to people. But I don't know. I want to be able to see the compiled version of that story. I think everybody else does too. I'm speaking for everyone, all the sweet, sweet maniacs out there, because there's a shitload
we try
of
to
them.
figure out a good name for that. The sweethearts of the sweet,
I like sweet, sweet maniacs, actually.
Sweet, sweet maniacs.
Those sweet, sweet maniacs out there. Oh my goodness. So I stopped down at the Hot Squish Club. You guys were doing some jamming earlier. And I got up to leave, and you guys started playing a song that I asked you to learn.
Yes.
Fucking forever ago.
That's why we played it.
And I sat back down. I was like, well, I can't leave now. Jesus. So one of the first albums that made me realize that the music I like may be drastically different than that of those around me was Damien Rice.
Oh yeah?
I agree.
Yeah.
Mine too, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, when I realized, okay, maybe the stuff I like is different than everybody else. Like,
Right.
because I remember showing that to people and then being like, this is awful.
And I'm like, who's in charge of the music?
This is bad. And
I
I'm
don't
like,
get it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't get it. And I remember, I don't know, that album just has a direct line. Like, I don't know, if I hear one song off of that album, I'm like, all right, well, I just got to hear the whole thing now.
Yeah.
And Jesus. And that's one of those things, too, that you forget about that's so near and dear to your heart that you're like, how could I ever forget this? But then you hear it, and you're like, how did I forget about this?
Yeah.
That happened a while ago. You guys did that for me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think that's it took us a while to learn the Damien Rice song, and I think that's kind of strange because that was one of the connections we had when we first started playing together.
Yeah.
I think I think Kerrine more maybe than I was, but my brother was really into that album and Damien Rice, and he turned me on to him, and then I saw the movie Closer, and I was just like kind of piecing it together, and I was just like, damn, this guy's badass. And so by the time,
thinking about that.
yeah, by the time and that's one of those kind of guys too, like where, like you said, it's not a popular thing to say. So
yeah,
the fact that she was like Damien Rice, I'm like, yes, like okay, that's cool. Like
yeah,
we both have that in common.
that's a very specific thing to have in common. Like
I think
if
it's
you
in
get
our
in,
roots, yeah.
yeah, if you get involved with somebody who immediately brings up something like that, because that, I don't know, Damien Rice was very obscure when that album came out.
Yeah.
And I think he's still very, like, still is.
Yeah. I might have paved the way a little bit for, like, what's happening now with singer-songwriters and stuff. You know, I think the whole singer-songwriter explosion thing has happened a handful of times over time, and it's in another thing again where, like, you can go on Spotify and there's tons of really good singer-songwriters out there that are creating this cool vibe, but I think he kind of did it in an era where it wasn't popular at the time, so he like brought it back again to be sort of hard on sleeve and just very like emotional and delicate and like rambunctious. It's like
absolutely, and I say like making it okay for a man to feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's okay to even like be like, yeah.
So I was like, oh
boys.
shit. So you boys. But it's like for me, it changed the way that I wrote songs because I was like, so I can
be tender.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is this what Elvis
Be
meant?
thoughtful.
Yeah. So I can write about other things other than like guy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I could write all about the football games on Friday nights, and which was a lot of the shit that I was writing about back then. You know what? And once I realized, oh fuck, I can do what this guy's doing, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Him and Jose Gonzalez.
Oh man.
Just you can say really what you mean.
You're like the only person I know that knows Jose Gonzalez.
Well, hopefully some of my listeners have looked him up because I've mentioned him a lot. I mean, when you talk about juggernaut performers that just like walk out on a stage and you don't know what you've seen after you've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's like the most subtle knockout ever.
Very subtle.
But very knockout.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. That's cool that I can see it almost like put in with Damien Rice.
Yeah. And
it's one of those things.
Or Glenn Hansard or those guys.
Yeah.
I give the listeners something to listen to and watch I've been really slack about it this past month just because I've been watching nothing but Doctor Who and listening to the same bullshit. But we're gonna give them something to listen to at the end. So sort of get your minds ready to spew out what you're listening to. That's sort of going to lead to my next question. As musicians, we want to listen to podcasts normally because music is work.
Yeah.
And we don't listen to a lot of music. Is that the case? I think I've asked you this question before maybe, but not on this podcast.
Like comes in waves.
Yeah.
Like we'll listen to a bunch of music and then I don't know.
Burned out from it sometimes.
We might be on like I don't remember. I don't know.
We're on the road a lot, so like, there's a time passing factor where you're just like, all right, you get in the car and it's like 4 hours from here. So what do you do in that time? I think the podcast thing has gotten to, I kind of like that for driving. Yeah. It's not like I listen to podcasts any other time, but I only listen to it when I'm on like a trip, which I take a lot of trips. You know what I mean? So we both do that, but I think music, it's not like it replaced it, but it's a little more, it just makes more sense with something where you just kind of want to zone out.
It pleases my brain more than music does.
Yeah, for me it does. It
relaxes
on the road. And I can see it other times being used. I used it to like fall asleep when we were on tour and we were in like a hotel room with a bunch of people, and I was just like, I'm gonna put this weird, I just like looked it up, it was like sleep podcast. What's that? And it was like this woman telling this story ever so perfectly in your ears. And I just like immediately passed out.
Are you sure? Are you sure that wasn't that one house? The lady
who knows? Yeah. It might have been the actual person. No.
We're not talking about these things.
But I mean, music, there's something about if you're on a road trip or you're in the car for a long time and you do music, I think you get numb to it. It's weird. It's like you almost get to the point where you're just not even feeling it anymore because you just,
Now, this may be...
Unless something like new comes out, then we're like, we have
If
to
you're
listen.
listening to just even songs you like, and you're like, I know this is good, and I made a playlist, and like you get tired of that playlist. Sometimes you can listen to it. So yeah, I think listening to something for me, is something fresh, gets me excited, and then once that you get to that point where you're like, it's new, but you know you like it.
Yeah.
And so you like listen to it like 5-6 times in the same day or something. You're like,
so you'll really get it.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about music. It's just like when you're like short-term obsessed with something. You're just like, oh man, I'm just gonna hit it again. I'm just gonna listen.
This may be different for you guys because you really do have a signature sound. But do you find that some of the stuff that you listen to bleeds out in your own music?
Yeah.
Can we help that?
Yeah, I don't think we can help it. I don't think anybody can help that.
That's
I don't know if
I'm
it's a
wondering,
bad thing.
like-
It's such a hard thing. I've always worried about that.
I
You
mean,
ever written a
sometimes-
song that you're just like,
And I'm like, oh,
And then
this
you
is that.
or you don't know, and then
Yeah.
like later you're like, it was that. It was something else. No wonder why
I've scrapped complete
hate
songs
that.
because of that.
So that, I mean, that's the only problem is that it gets, as a songwriter, there's things that are going to get stuck in your head, and you don't really know where it's coming from, and you're like, did I come up with this? Like, it's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good. Like, no, I'm going to give it some time. I'm not going to write any lyrics and commit to it until like, or like if I have like a melody idea or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to like commit to writing this song because I feel like it's already been done. And I don't know where it came from. I'm gonna find out. Like,
Now, when you're writing, does the melody usually come first, or does that?
for me, it does. Yeah, I don't know. Usually, we've kind of forced ourselves to write lyrics first, and yeah, I've done that in other times before, just to try something different.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the normal way I do it.
Do you find it more effective is to write the music first?
It's just the way I've always done it. I write them I find a guitar part that I like, and then or maybe a melody first.
Yeah.
And then it's always music first, and then I don't know if that's the greatest way to do it because I get frustrated with trying to write lyrics that's set for the melody that it's already in, and then you're like, I don't know, you're not being really open and poetic. You're just trying to fit something in the amount of syllables.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I try to get out of it whenever I can, but that's where I go to mostly. But if like she said before, like, let's write the lyrics first. I was like, all right, like, man, it's a cool exercise, and the song comes out differently.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. You do lyrics first?
Every time.
Really?
Yes. There's a lot of stuff that I write that never becomes songs just because I'm like, this just needs to stay.
As words.
Yes. And
Or we need to get together.
Yeah. You're doing the other thing, and we're doing the thing, like.
not like I'm serious. Like I'll get an idea about something, and all songs in my head start off the same way. Like I'll hum the same thing in my head, and I'll just get a line, and that line will build the cadence.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, so this is what it's going to sound like. And then I'll just rattle it around. And usually if I can't sit down and write it, and I write on my phone, obviously, because...
That's how you do it?
Yeah. I do that because I can type faster than I can write. And I can't read my handwriting.
Right.
So, like...
I always, when I write a song, like, I'll show it the next day. I'll be like, I wrote a song last night. And it'll just be like... It's just like a bunch of words like crossed out,
and then
just
like a bunch of scribbles and
I'm like,
something up top, and lines
check it out.
and arrows.
Yeah,
The last one you gave to me,
It's
it's like, all right. I was like, let me read it. Let me read
this way
it.
goes down here.
And I'm like reading it, and I'm like totally into it. I was like, this is great. And Jared's just like, are you sure? Like, can you get? Do you know what I'm talking? I'm like, no, I'm totally following this. Like, I get it. Like,
yeah.
Well, if you're
scratch
if
3
you're
lines
used to-
out, then write a line. Then
If you're used to reading stuff like that, like that's just like anything where you learn the shortcuts, you learn what this means. Okay, so this is circled and going down here, so this is this is for later. And I used to do that, but once I'm one of those kids who always needed the internet.
Yeah.
And then it finally came. You know, I was the kid who was like, I wish every movie that I like was in like a box before the computers and internet.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is my thing now. I really needed this.
Right.
But I do that mainly because I'm so lazy. I would be like, oh, this is a great idea. I should write this down and be like, yeah, I'm not going to get up and find a pen and a piece of paper. I'm just not doing that.
And then even I did that, I'm not going to find that piece of paper later and be like,
exactly. And this moment, I need to catch this right now while it's fresh.
Do you feel like you can still kind of sketch down ideas? Because I think there's something weird about typing it for me that it makes it almost seem like solidified. Where as I'm writing it, I just be like, shh, nope. And I don't know. Do you still feel like you can jot down ideas? And without having to say like, I don't know. When I get to a typing thing, I'm almost like,
well, I feel
kind
like
of writer block.
If I delete something, if I take something away, it didn't need to be there. Like I don't need to see the ghost of what was. I don't need to. So
you still kind of do it in a sketch kind of idea. It's like whatever line comes to you, like throw it down. Maybe you might adjust it later.
Yeah, well, I'll write like usually three verses. I'll write that, and then I'll go through it, and I'll be like, does this one need a chorus? And then if I play through it one time, and I'm like, okay, I really don't need a chorus on this one, so I'm just not going to do one. Yeah. And then that's usually the choruses come last. Like if I feel like a song needs one, but Adam Justice hates it, but I'm very weird about writing songs with no chorus.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's like an old Bob Dylan kind of thing.
Yeah, like just a shitload of verses. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in church. Like, there's a lot of church songs that have no chorus.
Have almost like a pre-chorus, and then it just goes back to the verse.
Like, I mean, the melody is the chorus in those songs. Yeah, exactly. All right, y'all open your hymnals to page 357. We're going to do verses 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works in Methodist church.
Yeah.
But I really was curious to find out because what am I trying to say? The way you guys do your melodies, like the music. Mm-hmm. And the rhythm, especially in the one song, like, and the one that randomly, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it has that, I don't know, it's just a very, very odd beat.
Yeah.
And it
5/8
it's just a very odd beat, and it sticks out, especially to somebody who's got a musician.
Right.
So I mean, I was curious as to whether that came first or the words, but it's
so cool. Music with us.
Remind me, is that what you're talking
maybe
about?
Remind Me, yeah.
Maybe.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That one. Oh gosh, I'm just people who are not able to watch me just grin when I hear that. It just makes me happy, and
that was
I'm
the first
not
song that we ever wrote
person.
together. Yeah,
which
is kind of funny that it had like different time signature or not your typical one, but I think we do that. I think we do a little. It's just like in our blood. Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like we've struggled more with lyrics than music since we've started writing together. Like not that we've struggled with it, but. We always, maybe it's just because that's how I've always done it, and I've just instilled it on her. But I just usually put it off to the last thing. Like I might have a line, like you were saying. It's just like you can work, and you know how it's gonna. Like there'll be times where I know exactly how the song's gonna be sang, and everything about it, but just not the actual words. And I'm like, and then.
Oh man, that's wild.
It's really strange. I mean, that's sometimes I write everything most of the time, unless I'm trying to do it the opposite just to see what happens.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've done the same exact thing where I've just I've sat down right here and put like a random GarageBand drum track and like laid down an entire song and then just listen to it and then you see what comes out.
Yeah.
And I've actually the song the song that plays on this podcast as my intro and outro is prime example. A song called "Where's My Monster."
Yeah.
That I recorded all of the music, and it was supposed to be a rap beat for a friend of mine in California named Michael Swaim, who's been on Sunset Grill.
I remember, yeah. He's, I saw that movie that he did with no
Kill Me Now?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was
saw that
so
at
good.
Frank's Theater.
Is it on Netflix?
No, at Frank's Theater.
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw it.
yeah, I was
saw the
there,
premiere.
shit. Yeah. Mike is a ridiculous brain. He's so fast.
Right.
Like, before you're done talking, he's got 5 jokes.
Gotcha.
On what you've just said.
Yeah.
He's so good. But he's doing a rap album, and I'm producing it for him. And yeah,
awesome.
We've got like 6 or 7 tracks that I've done, and 3 or 4 that somebody else has done. That he's pretty much putting me in charge of the other production. So the other guys that are making beats are sending their beats to me. And I'm like, how did I fucking get here into this game of making a rap album with all of these white people?
Yeah, you guys are all super white.
The whitest people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the whitest. Call it the White Album.
Yeah, oh man, I think
rap
that was
version.
taken.
Yeah.
I think that was taken.
With parentheses, rap version.
But seriously, I mean, I made this beat as one of those, and it was one that I was just like, I had to change something very small about it, but because I played all the instruments in real time, to change something small means I have to change the entire song.
Sure.
So I just scrapped that one and started over, and I was like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah. It's
like,
something
shit,
there.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to do this. And I don't know, that one turned out pretty good. I feel like the story was equally as prominent in that had I just written the lyrics first. So I felt. How did you feel when you wrote the other lyrics first? Did you feel like it was easier that way because the thing you didn't like to do the most was done already, or not didn't like to do the most, but
right? But I mean, the thing I put off, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I wish that I like doing it that way. I think it wouldn't turn out the same if you didn't do it that way. But I felt like we ended up just like taking what we had and sort of, you still end up having to conform it somehow. I wish we could have just like kept it in this like poetic form and still like worked music around it. Like that'd be
What
genius.
song are you talking about?
I was thinking Lost Kids. Started lyrics first, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I still feel like eventually we took this like poem type thing, and then we like figured out what kind of music would fit with it, and then we still ended up like dropping some things or like moving things around. I don't know.
Like most of the words on Lost Kids are
still there,
still the same.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
but we ended up having to approach it differently because like how do you say this line? Like now it's like you didn't.
Yeah, and then you're like, do I need to switch a word out?
Yeah, or do I need to?
Yeah, to make it match.
I think you're right though. I think we ended up forcing ourselves, and I think that's the thing is you can change it or like end up adjusting it, or if you like really stick to it, there's something in you that will make that line. You can figure out a way for that line to work.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first time that I've done that. I did that years ago with a friend that I was writing with, and he would write all the lyrics, and I would write, kind of figure out music with him. And he would not let me. He would write this line that would be like so many syllables. I'm like, I can't. No, here's how it goes. It's like da 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 da, and you have and he's like, we're not changing any of the words. Figure out a way to fit it in.
Oh man, that's no fun.
No, it was fun though because we were drinking and stuff. So I was like, yeah, it wasn't serious. It was actually kind of like a fun project, but yeah, it ended up forcing me. I was like, no, I can't do it, and he's like, we're not.
Yes, you can.
We're not taking out any words.
Sure,
like,
you can.
Find a place, and like you will find a way to make that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's people like Jason Mraz that was just like, I can do that. Like I can fit 15 syllables in 1 second. You know, but
now
I'm not used to that. But I did. I found ways to make those lines work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't change them.
I try to. Do you try to keep your syllables the same for verse to verse?
I mean,
you just try to match your just. Are you OCD like that?
Yeah,
Same
but
here.
I try to like make it evolve a little bit in little ways on the second verse. But of course, and it's not. I don't think I am OCD, and I'm sure that's part of it. But I do think there's something about something that's repetitive that I've always liked.
That makes it stick.
Yeah, I always enjoy hearing that. So I tend to make music that when I find a melody that I like, I want to repeat it and maybe change the chords underneath it.
Yeah.
To keep the same melody or something. But I don't know if that's the best idea. Like I always really enjoy listening to somebody that it sounds so freeform. Like the Counting Crows or something, the first album, it's like that guy had no idea. It's almost like he's just like singing poetry.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason. Nothing rhymes. Nothing. The last line wasn't like the next line. And I like that too. I just don't write
I do
like
too.
that.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't want to.
I can't do that.
There's every now and again I'll do something that doesn't rhyme, but there's something there that gives you closure on not getting that rhyme. If that makes any sense. Like I
there's
do
a reason for it.
Yeah, like if the word doesn't rhyme, it's very similar to the word that it should have rhymed with. Or
Sure.
Or something
Or
random like that.
dramatically doesn't rhyme on purpose. Like
Yes.
it leaves you like
Or something that's
feeling,
like something very important within the song that you need to have heard, then people will
sticks out. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're saying like it sounds like he's just reading poetry, that's sort of how I get the music. Is once I finish the lyrics, I'll read through it, and in my head, like I'll hear the cadence and just hear how it sounds, and usually at that point the music just kind of happens. I don't know, and I'll always play everything in G, C, and D to start with because I'm like, why not? Let's see what it sounds like.
Sure.
And then I know G, C, and D. Well, guess what? It's gonna go back to my favorites. All minors. Because I want on my tombstone, never underestimate the power of a minor chord. There is fucking
it hits
so hard.
Yeah.
Just a minor chord it makes people feel tense and they don't know why.
It makes them think about their past. It makes them like, to me, it makes me see things. When you hit that in the right way,
everything goes dark immediately, and I'm not in a bad way.
Dark, yeah, but
not in a
just
bad way.
feeling,
Just like this just got heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
It's real,
and I love that. And there's like, and I said this last time we were looking at the moon. Mm-hmm. I have to explain that line. So we did a Sunset Grill episode, last week ish.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, and afterwards, I have these awesome telescopes over here that my viewers on YouTube can look at, and if you're a listener, you could just look at for free on YouTube, baby.
They're very impressive.
But we got the telescope out, and we were looking at the moon, and I was talking to Kerrine about how even in like you guys' harmonies are just those like doing the minor harmonies.
Right.
And not a lot of people utilize the minor harmonies. Most people stick to the major on the harmonies. And Jesus, those minor harmonies will...
That's when it,
they don't go anywhere. They just...
it's like using a minor chord, when you if you don't stick to like the third or the fifth or something, you do something like a little bit different. It's like
something that people aren't used to hearing. It's like an exhale after you're holding your breath for a really long time.
Hits you,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that other people hear it, but that's the kind of stuff
we do.
That
we hear that.
I hear, it moves you. It makes your stomach move.
For a heartfelt second of this, I would suggest the listeners to go out and do in life what you like to do, because if you do that, the money will show up, one, and two, you'll live in a world that has more of the thing that you like in it. And if it's not, if you like to do awful things, then go fuck yourself.
We're not condoning that.
We're not condoning that. But the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, the things that touch you on a spiritual level, put that into the world. I just had that thought when you were talking about, I do the things that I like. And I'm like, how many people in the world are in the position to create the things that they like?
I think it's special, but I think it's obtainable by a lot of
Absolutely.
people. And I think that even if it comes down to, like, it doesn't have to be an artistic or creative thing. It can be just like, I like helping people. Like, then do that. Like, you will feel better at the end of every day.
Absolutely.
Because, like, if you're not into helping people, then don't do that.
Yeah.
Then you're going to hate your days. Every day is going to be the worst day ever.
And you know what? I'm one of those people who will take having a bad day if that'll make somebody else's day good.
I mean,
but for me,
everybody's going to have a bad day,
fucking
though.
wagon wheel or
I know,
whatever.
that's what I mean. Like, we do what we want to do. We do the thing that makes us happy as for a living, but we still have bad days. You can't get around that.
Yeah.
But at least you can separate and say today was a bad day, but not every day is like every day is like that.
And I'm getting down to where I can't remember who I heard say this. You guys familiar with Sam Harris?
No.
I'm gonna hook you up with a Sam Harris podcast before you guys go. Sam Harris talks about this thing called the mental mortgage, where the things in your mind, like you're paying mortgage on everything in your mind. Like, so to make sure to keep the things out of your mind that are going to cost you money, so to speak, like that are going to cost you in your brain. Your mental money.
Yeah.
So he's talking about, if you think about the portion of a day that you're upset with and you call it a bad day, then was it really a bad day, or was it just those few moments in that day that defined the whole day for you? And I've been really trying, because I'm the worst at making a bad 3 seconds of an encounter that I have with somebody after a gig, or when somebody comes up, when somebody comes up to me in the middle of a gig and they're like, can you please turn it down a little bit? Or, or the one thing that you never want to hear. Yeah. And then I'm like, that will ruin my entire week. And I'll just take it out on everybody. Like, fuck these people. They don't know like I know. I know what this room needs. They don't, And
which is also maybe a not bad place. Yeah. You start to get, detached.
I'm the world's worst about that. And I used to be. And I've been making a conscious effort to try to weigh my badness in real time, and not in like, okay, so that 5 minutes that I had to talk to this person about this song that they wrote, I'll never get back.
Yeah.
But you know the guy that walked, hey y'all, I got this song that, man, y'all could play it good. And do y'all get that at all?
Sure, yes.
How do you? Am I a dickhead because I'm making fun of this, or
no,
we actually don't get it that often. Like, honestly,
but we get it.
We get it every so often. But typically, when somebody asks us even for a song, or even suggests that was something we'd be good at, like, it's in the realm of things that we would like and we would probably do anyway.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I thought Sweet Sweet kind of stuck out, because nobody's trying to change it. Nobody's like, I like it what you're doing, but do this song, or like, you do. It's like nobody messes with us really. It's really strange. We don't get wagon wheels, and we're even acoustic. We do very little. Kerrine, like I'm not joking to you. Like, Bullfrog played last night in Somerville, and I'm not even. This is not even a joke. There must have been 50 to 75 requests that people came up. Every single person came up and said, "This is amazing. Can you do this?" And we didn't know any of them. They weren't bad suggestions, but everybody was like, "I like what you do, but make it more personal for me. Like, can you do this? Like, whatever."
They totally don't get what we do.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Sweet Sweet doesn't get that hardly at all. Every once in a while, somebody would be like, do you happen to know any, like, and it'd be like a band that we like.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, we don't. We've never learned anything. We're like, okay, well, I figured I'd listened to your set already, and I thought you might already know that.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but if you don't, keep doing what you do. And I don't know. I don't get that as often with any other project. Typically, people want to, like, customize you. I like what you do, but, like, I could make it better. Like, if you did this song, you would do better. I don't know.
I do hate when people think that they know better for me than I know for myself.
Yeah. I don't think any of these things make a bad day, though, honestly. Like, those aren't... to me, when I get to something that's definitely... I'm not saying those are good things and it'll throw you off, but if... I always try to think of, like, the worst days I've ever had, like, real bad days. Like, that aren't about, oh, this person rubbed me the wrong way or something happened. Like... Really,
once something really shitty happens, it
truly
changes
bad
your scale.
days. Yeah, your scale changes, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you just like it takes all just like a. All right, yeah, it's not that bad of a day. Yeah, it's
exactly.
really not that bad. You should. I mean, we shouldn't dwell on those kind of things. Like,
Yeah,
you'll know when you're having a really bad day.
Exactly. when it happens, you'll fucking know it.
It's like
This isn't
We're
a thing.
so sensitive.
I think so.
It's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's
It
really
really
hard
is.
to be because that's what we're supposed to be. We're all supposed to be sensitive. It's okay to be sensitive and like in tune with everything that's going on. I think that's a cool thing to be as an artist. Like that's how you make good music. Is you can't be just like you can't live in the gray world. You have to be colorful and you have to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've after listening to myself talk on these random podcasts and editing and such, like hearing myself say these things about how I wish that I could get away with doing what I want to do.
Right.
And like then finding out, you know what, if you do what you want to do, I think people enjoy watching that more than they want to hear that song that they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
It will
Totally.
overcome it, yeah.
And
I think
I've-
you're a great example of that, man. You create a really cool mood and you have a thing that makes it I personally would never ask, like, can you do this? Because, like, whatever you're doing is the thing already.
Well, I appreciate that.
Do you get asked a lot to, like...
Well, I do, but I sort of foster that myself usually because I'll be like, listen, anything you want to hear, feel free to holler it out. There's a 10% chance I'll know it if you...
Yeah.
I'll do
Saying
10% of what I don't
saying
know,
that
100%
is a
of
thing,
what I do
too.
know.
Yeah.
I know, and I've just been doing that line for so long, but then I used to be like, and if you think you can stump me, challenge extended. just because
Because it's fun, yeah.
in a certain room, like if
you
I'm
would
playing,
have fun with that, yeah.
because I get bored, man.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. Like there's
Get
a
so
funness to
bored.
that too. Yeah, there's something that's like you kind of want people to come up and like you know a bunch of songs.
And not only that, you know, if you win that game, your tip jar is going to do very
Yeah.
well. And
There's a lot of pluses to that.
yeah, and
So I wouldn't take it. As long as you take it in a positive way. Don't let.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and
But I never said that once last night at all. And
yeah,
still,
yeah, just
literally every single person that walked up to the stage.
you know, it's
said,
probably shithead bands like us that make that happen. Oh, what a band last night! They played everything we asked
Or
for.
it's just the place.
I have never, I've never been able to play everything they asked. I've just never had that much of a. I guess I don't know. I've been half and half on the fence with as a writer, and I'm going to do. I like doing covers and I like playing songs, but I really would rather, and I pretty much won't play something that I don't like. I mean, who does that? That would really bother me. You do? You play songs you don't like?
A shitload of songs I don't like because
I
listen,
never
I'm sorry.
had a time like not even like you don't like it now because you've heard it so much or you've played it too much, but at a time did you like it?
I mean,
Do you literally learned it because you know people like it?
no,
you don't
no,
like it.
I've learned
That would
I've,
be bad.
No, they're just songs that maybe Adam or Smitty want to do.
Oh well, yeah, you're in
And
a band, so you have
I'll
to
do
the
that
group
because
effort, yeah,
I want,
that's a thing. That's
I want
totally a
to,
thing.
you know, I would just, I like them more than I hate said song, I guess. And just, there's just certain things that we do and we'll get a request and we'll all look at each other and be like, We've got to do it.
We know.
We got to do it. We know that the tip jar is going to fill up. There's only certain songs that have been absolutely blacklisted. Wagon Wheel is 100% like somebody comes up and asks for Wagon Wheel, and I have no problem in the world with telling them on the microphone why we won't do that song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I've been playing this song a lot longer than Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't know about it until a couple years ago, and that's a shame because it was a fucking brilliant song.
It was.
And it is not anymore.
Because, yeah.
I'll still, if I hear the Old Crow Medicine Show version
it.
of it, I'm like, this is such a great fucking song.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad.
But
yeah.
It's
just
too
happens.
bad.
Yeah.
Same with Tennessee Whiskey. Great fucking song.
Yeah, sure.
Great song.
First time
But
everybody heard
man,
it was like, damn.
this is it.
Yeah.
And
but
then-
then you have like literally even sometimes like bartenders or people that work there like
Don't play this fucking
don't play
song.
this song.
Yeah. Seriously, like I've heard this song every fucking and when Prince passed away,
That
everybody
means
did
something.
Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Bartenders were like, do anything you want
Yeah.
except Purple Rain.
But I mean, it's not even like really saying anything against the song. It's like
That happened.
stop killing this song. Like we don't. If you
Yeah.
listen to it too much, you're killing it. You're ruining the song. Like give it space.
The radio is to people's ears what overeating is for fat people, and I can say that out there because I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Listen, too much. If you just keep ingesting this, look at how unhealthy it makes a body. Think of how unhealthy that makes a brain.
Yeah.
To just ingest
Hear-
the same things over and over.
hear it over and over
Can't
again.
be the only one seeing this.
It's too much.
Or at least listen to the original. You don't want to hear us
You know
play
what
it.
I do?
Yeah.
You know what I do
That's
solo?
another thing too. It's just like, why do you need me to hear me do it? Like, just play it. Like,
Yeah,
you
you
can
do-
play it in your car anytime
Exactly.
you want. Like,
Just on your way home.
whatever.
Check it out on
Yeah.
YouTube. When
think
I
it-
play solo, I do the Etta James thing, and then I'll do his part because I have to make it fun. If somebody comes up,
The Etta James. What are we song we're talking about now?
the Tennessee Whiskey,
Oh, Tennessee Whiskey. Gotcha. Yeah.
because the music is "I'd Rather Go Blind" by Etta James.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, something told me.
But also the
it
song itself is
would.
George Strait or whoever.
George Jones.
George Jones. yeah.
did the original version,
Right.
and I
But
played.
also that was an Etta James ripoff. Or not ripoff, but-
No. The music for Chris Stapleton's version is Etta James music.
Oh,
Complete ripoff. And the lyrics are complete ripoff of and David Allen Coe did it before George Jones did it.
Sure.
But
I mean, it's pretty standard. sounding,
Yeah.
Yeah. Music.
the old version. I used to spend my nights out in a bar room. It's very old Texas swing.
Yeah.
And I did that version of it yesterday at Oceanfront Bar and Grill. My cousins were in town, and I was, I like country, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do all old country for you. So I did just 70s country because
Yeah.
I love 70s country, and I did pretty much a whole show of Roger Miller and blah blah whatever have you, Jerry Reed,
Yeah.
because of Burt Reynolds, but.
I remember seeing If Birds Can Fly, somebody was begging them to do Tennessee Whiskey, and they're like, we'll do it, but we're doing the George Jones version.
Oh,
And
dude.
that was the first time, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, it's somebody else's song. And it was different.
Oh, dude, drastically different.
Yeah.
And
And the guy was like, and all of a sudden, it's like, not what I wanted, but okay. But they forced it. They were just like, yeah.
and they're another band. They do exactly what they want to do,
Yeah.
and that is brilliant.
I love those
love it,
guys.
dude.
They are so good, man.
Because people don't really know what they want. I don't know. I always felt like Tommy had something. He used to say I don't know. He was kind of cynical about things, but he felt like a lot of times when people were requesting things, they were requesting that it's more of a selfish thing. Like, I'm here having this night, but I want to make it about me.
Yes.
And I want you to do the thing that I want the most. And it doesn't matter if
Because
that's
I'm
not
more
you.
important than everybody else in the
Right,
room.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
even more important than you. You make this
Yes.
night my best night ever. And I think there is a lot of that, and when people request stuff, like it's really not about it. If somebody really respected and liked what you were doing, they wouldn't come up and ask you to
If
do
you
something
don't
different.
send out the beacon like we do.
If you don't send out the beacon, but then it's more of a. It's really hard to say in this area because it's
Well,
almost
this
like
is
an
a different
entertainment thing. You're like get the crowd involved, make them but. A lot of times when you're not sending out that beacon and somebody's just coming up and saying that, it's more of them. They're just like, I want this night to go perfect for me.
Yeah,
So,
I'm the only one that matters. I just, but you know what I love?
weird. Yeah.
I love is to destroy the egos of that person.
Yeah.
That is like,
I know. I just do this face.
that's
I'm
my
like,
thing.
no. I'm not even joking. I'm not playing a song that I know. I'm just saying like I don't know that song. People look at you and they like I said last night. This lady went, oh, "Really?" And I was like, "Why are you giving me that look?" I'm like, "I don't know how to play that song. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how to play it. It's not the end of the world. Like I don't." She looked at me so disappointed. Like, you really did that to me. You told me no.
The person who's never told no.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, lady, I'm sorry. Like
This world isn't for you.
and I'm not even like
I'm in it too.
I'm not even like being mean and like not playing a song that I know. I don't know it. It's not that bizarre that everything you ask for you're gonna get. Sorry.
What a world we live in where
This is the
people
first
just
time
expect
anybody
that.
told you this.
Jesus, I know. Now, I've done the exact, just a very similar situation, but I have declined a song that I knew.
Right, I know.
Because of the person who's asking for it, being like, "Listen,
Did you
I'm
tell
sorry."
them that you know it?
Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Because then you're still honest.
I'm pretty sure it was Smitty can vouch for this because I'm pretty sure it was a duo, and it may or may not. No, it wasn't there. It wasn't at Montreux. It was somewhere really random where there was just the you know the girl, the drunk entitled white one.
Yeah.
That's at every bar.
That you just, in a way, you just want to say no in the first
she
place.
She walks
just
up
you need
like
to be told no.
And I think that it may be that she asked in the middle of a song.
Yeah, the way they present it is a huge thing.
Yeah, like if you come up to me respectfully and ask me for a song that I don't want to play, I'll probably play it because you asked nicely. But if you come up to me and you ask me to play Wider Shade of Pale, which is my favorite song to play, by the way. If you ask me to play my favorite song to play and you're
yelling at me
about it,
why I'm in the middle of singing the other song, like
you're not getting the song you asked for. And I will let you know, like, listen, I apologize, and I'll do it. And sometimes it may offend rooms full of people, but to me, it is more important for me to let that entire group of people who can hear my voice know that what happened wasn't cool, so that they'll understand that the next time they're in a situation to do something like that, they choose not to. I'll piss off a room full of people if it's for the greater good.
You have a microphone. I mean, it's a
Don't
huge
fuck with
thing.
the person with the microphone.
But with great volume comes great responsibility.
Man.
Just choose your words wisely, and I mean, it sounds like you do, like you said, and I do too. I really won't use that power.
You get good at filtering yourself after years.
But
of
I
doing
mean,
this.
I will add a little bit of condescending tone, just enough to be like.
To certain people in the room will catch it.
I'm really hoping that you won't do this again. Like this is the whole Freebird people, and it's I don't know why I let him say it a handful of times, and then eventually I'll single him out and just say some crazy shit to him. And it usually quiets the room and everybody gets a little bit awkward, but typically...
And it's really funny.
It is. There's a hint of funny there. You have to say it the right way.
Well, I'm laughing.
It's awkward funny. It's kind of
dude,
and I'm really hoping that that's what it takes for that person to stop saying that. Just stop saying that. Like you're doing that for yourself too.
That's like the modern version of getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You got embarrassed in front of a room full of people.
Strength. Like it's a very, very powerful weapon. I'm amplified. I just get into it, eat it, and just be like...
You don't even have to be right if you're loud.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's I found that power years ago. I try not to abuse it ever, but
it's a very. I mean, once you get the power of listen, I have this microphone. You have no excuse. You have no choice but to listen to me.
Yeah.
Once that goes to your
choose your
head,
words wisely from there, because there's a whole room listening to what you're about to say.
And we have no problem in the world, the good people out there listening to us. We have no problem in the world making your experience at this bar a more enjoyable one.
I love it.
That's what we do. That's what we're paid for. The only thing that we ask is, if you don't like what we've got going on, there's only a couple hours left.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
Just wait.
Wait
it out.
We're under a thing, so we have to keep doing, and we can only be ourselves. We can venture out from that a little bit, but not really. So it's just like that kind of situation. Like if you don't like it, you can leave. We can't actually.
Yeah. We're and the difference is I'm getting paid to do this.
Yeah, there's that too.
See, I've used that line before. I've just been.
That's a good one. It's truth.
I've told people like, and this is mostly because I'm so peculiar about people getting on stage.
Oh my God! Don't do
now,
that. Yeah.
Adam Justice, you motherfucker.
He's more of a punk rocker. He probably likes it, huh?
Dude, he will like. All right, we'll be doing a song. If Adam doesn't know the song well, or doesn't want to do the song, or feel comfortable doing the song, he'll walk off the stage and go get a shot or whatever while me and Smitty do this song. He's standing next to the stage. This happened the other night at our gig up in Cherry Grove. Adam walks off the mic, and me and Smitty are doing Seven Bridges Road by the Eagles. Nice. And it's a very vocal-driven song that me and Smitty do pretty well. And
do it.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I know I want to.
No,
oh, God, please do that.
We should all do it together. I mean, we probably need more than 2 harmonies on this thing, right?
We need like 18.
Well, we do it with 2 harmonies. And anyway, I make eye contact with Adam as a guy walks up to Adam he's not on the mic, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you ain't gonna sing with him?" And I hear this, like, obviously as a musician, you hear everything. So you ain't gonna sing with him? And Adam's like, "Nah, go ahead. It's the low one."
Oh my God!
A guy in my band did this to me.
He's fired. Adam, you're fired.
No,
I give him like the worst eye ever. And I even lean over in the middle of this. I have it recorded with the Mevo here. Yeah. I have it recorded. I lean over to this guy and I'm like, "We got it, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got it."
Yeah.
And
it's too late.
He's still there. He stays till the end. And then Adam gets back
a singer?
up. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Adam gets back. He was singing the melody. He was a melody guy. Yeah. I'm sorry, but don't get me started on that.
Wait, whatever. I was just asking. It wasn't going well.
No. And Adam gets up, and Adam knows I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And he's like, "For the record, you really couldn't hear him." And I'm like, who gives a shit? My theory, my listeners know this. Once one person gets on stage, that becomes an option then for everybody else in the room.
Absolutely.
Because that guy is just like everybody else in the room. The thing that sets us apart from everybody else in the room is that we're on stage and we have that power.
Yeah.
Once a civilian steps on stage, then everybody's like, I can do that too. And then the argument could be made, well, everybody's not going to want to get on stage. But you know what? If they do want to get on stage, they know they can now. God damn.
No, it's huge. It's huge.
That makes me so mad.
I mean, Kerrine's bow, at the end of a bow, is like really pointy. It's really pointy. And I was asking the other day, I was like, why is it so sharp?
Because I accidentally cut your arm open.
Yeah, she hit it. She's like, I was like, damn, why is that thing sharp in the first place? Like, why does it have to be sharp? And she's like, that's to shoo away people. She pokes people. And I've seen her too. I've been in the middle of a song, I have my eyes closed, and I look over, she's
if I can't use my bow, I use my leg.
Yeah, she just pokes him. Because when those type of stages where it's just like we'll move stuff over. It's not a stage. It's just we're gonna make a space for you. So, but you have to make your own line.
Yeah.
And
I can't stand being like, the separation from the crowd when there's none of that.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me up at Duck and Dive.
Oh, I was just thinking
That's the place
one
where
in my
she
head.
does it. She pokes people.
Because they just get too. This guy Scott Bird went with me the first time that I played there.
The
and
dancer.
The dancing
Yeah,
guy
the
that
black,
just kept.
the black dancing guy.
Oh yeah, I don't
know.
This guy does it every time we play.
He always
He's
grabs a girl and they're
he's
like
just, like,
swinging around.
swinging.
Oh yeah,
full force.
yeah, I know the guy.
Butt into
If
your
I
microphone
lose
stand.
any teeth, it will be at Duck and Dive.
Dude,
Because
I mean,
their ass is right on the end of my mic stand, and they bump it all the time.
Dude, Scott Bird he got aggressive with a guy because he went there the first or
He's like,
one
we're having a good time.
one time we got my car. Something was going on in my car. Something was going on in my car, and Scott drove me to this gig,
Gotcha.
and I was like,
you have to be there.
we doing this gig, and this guy just kept like bumping into my microphone. He did it one time, and it kind of knocked me, and that hurts.
It does.
When you're straight microphone on teeth, that is not a good feeling. That hurts for like days after.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like you can, and then later you'll be sitting there and you like push on the back of your teeth and feel it
it's like-
click like back into place. You know, you've had that, right?
Yes.
We've all had that
Not
happen.
to mention
It's
like,
like-
bloody lips. Like
Yeah.
Like seriously, it's like punching someone in the face. Yeah.
Dude, Scott got like aggressive with this dude. He was like, dude, have fun, but watch where you're fucking dancing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, Bird. Get him.
Hell yeah. Yeah. He'll get on it.
Yeah, he will. Well, we got about an hour and 20 minutes worth of content
Wow.
here.
That's a lot.
And
Yeah.
I know that you guys are exhausted, and this is usually Monday, Tuesday is our weekend.
Yes.
So your weekend, our weekend is here. You guys got a couple of
That's it,
days
yeah,
off
yeah.
to recover.
One day. Yeah.
One day.
I got one day.
It's gonna be good.
We're
though.
in Charleston on Tuesday. Yeah.
Charleston.
Where are you going down down there?
Five Church, which is an amazing place.
We're going to eat all the steak.
It's an old church. I don't know if you know. You ever seen that?
man.
Been down there Market Street.
I've
There used to
spent
be
a
a
lot of time in
wine. There used to be a
Charleston.
Wild Wing over there, but yeah, it's an old church that's been there forever. And they
Wait, is it the old Wild Wing by the Rainbow Market?
Rainbow Market. I
The
mean,
little-
like the market.
open, the market there.
Yeah, the open market. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I have seen that then.
There's basically a church right there that hasn't been a church forever, but a couple businesses have taken over. But this place took it over.
Those rooms-
a few years ago.
A church always has the best acoustics.
Oh, it
Oh my God,
sounds
it's playing in a church.
amazing.
But they put a bunch of money into it. There's like the chandeliers are made out of like angel wings, and it's the best food that we ever eat. And they feed us, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's playing in a church.
We do it for the food.
Yes.
The camera was looking at me for that
I
one
know.
too.
And the acoustics. It's church acoustics
man.
with amazing Charleston food. So we always look forward to playing there. Yeah, we're there on Tuesday.
Well, good. Well, I'm
Yeah.
happy for you. I'm glad you get some time off before you get to go do it, though. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep you any longer, so you can get to that time off quicker.
Yes.
So I've already told the people. I've pushed your album on several podcasts. I always give
you.
people things to listen to that they normally wouldn't hear.
Cool.
Otherwise, I've told them to listen to Moon and Emotion, and I've pushed that to all the good listeners of my stuff.
Nice.
Do you hear yourselves out there?
Don't push it too much. where
Do
it
you
gets
hear
annoying.
yourselves out there? I don't push it too much. You know? I don't want to get annoying, but I do want to ask you guys, what are you listening to or watching that the good listeners out there might not stumble upon outside of you guys telling them? I told for the listeners, I told the good folks here of Sweet Sweet earlier that I've just been doing nothing but watching Doctor Who, and I know you guys are sick of me telling you to watch it, so I'm not going to tell you anymore. But watch Doctor Who.
I'm always looking for new stuff or any artist that I already like that comes out with something new. And Hosier just came out with a new EP. That's really awesome. It just literally came out a couple days ago. I just listened to it last night. It's really good. I just recently found both of us love Tiny Desk concert series, and I just found an Andrew Bird one that was from a couple years ago.
Ooh.
I'd never seen it, and it is literally incredible. It's like this guy, his whistle is by far the best. He's the best whistler that's ever whistled.
I can't.
Do you know Andrew Bird at all?
Oh yeah, the fiddle
Yeah.
player, right? Or he plays violin.
He plays
Yeah.
violin and sings and.
I remember that the Yellow album forever ago. I don't know what it was called, but I remember it being Yellow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think.
I'm not sure what it was. That one
Maybe.
was, but yeah, it's probably him.
Yeah.
He's yeah. There's something. He's got his own style and his own sound, but it's just one of those Tiny Desks that you
Tiny
watch.
Desk things
I mean,
usually-
almost all of them, yeah. But just there's certain times like somebody like that I've been listening to for years, and then I like saw that Tiny Desk, and I was like, that's why I love this guy. He's that good. It's just it's moving, incredible, and different, and just like pushes the boundaries of. It's just nobody sounds like that, you know. When somebody
It's good
actually
to be
comes
that.
out of sound, yeah.
It's good to be that person that nobody sounds like.
That's huge.
What about you, Ren? What are you listening to?
No.
Oh no, she
Oh,
thought
no.
she was. God,
Oh no, you thought you were gonna get off scot free, huh? What are you watching?
I watch.
Yeah, what are you watching?
I've been watching Orange Is the New Black. I know I'm like totally behind, but that's what I've been
never
watching.
watched a single
Sounds-
episode.
I watched a little bit of it, like in the beginning, but I never. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Huh. Maybe I should do that.
What were you
If you
saying?
want.
Is that there's a bunch of. Yeah, it gets.
Huh?
No, I just remember you summed it up. You're like, I've been watching a lot of Orange and New Black. It's very. It's got a lot of rape, but in a funny way or something.
That's not what I said.
Oh man, are we
don't know.
making quotes here?
I don't remember how you put it. That's what I was trying to get you to say, but I don't remember. It was
I
something
don't
funny.
remember what I said.
Right.
That's never a bad thing when it's about something like that.
It's like prison rape, but funny.
It's like, oh no, I don't know if I want to watch this
No.
anymore.
Oh yeah, that's always.
I'm just kidding. I'll probably still watch it. Well,
What are you watching? You're not watching Game of Thrones yet. We know you're waiting till the end of that.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting till the end. I have like 2 episodes left, and I'll be completely caught up on Doctor Who. And I watched
British
10
series,
seasons. Yes.
Yeah.
So I watched 10 seasons of Doctor Who since I started. And that's like Frasier. You know, I think there's like 11 seasons of
Yeah,
Frasier
there's a
and
lot of seasons, yeah.
10 of Friends.
Even the biggest shows don't really go that long, yeah.
Yeah, that was just such a commitment that I was like, okay, well, I've started it. I have to finish. But once I finish that, I've got to start watching Castle Rock on Hulu.
You have to, yeah. I'm halfway through that.
Now, they release episodes weekly, correct? Or do they release like a few episodes in a block and then another few episodes in a
I
block?
don't know. Like, I try not to... My goal with any show is to watch it at my pace.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to, like... I don't know. You have to almost force yourself to not watch it sometimes in order to even do that. But, yeah, I'm not sure how it comes out. Is that a thing? Some shows come out in blocks?
Yeah, like some Netflix things do that, like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I really liked a lot, but the first half, they only released the first half of the season.
All at once.
And all at once, and then apparently they released the second half, and it was like...
People are going to start doing that just because it's obvious that people binge watch.
Yeah.
So, like, do you change the way you release things? Like, do you just put it all out at once?
Yeah.
Or do you still continue to do the... Because there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of shows, record, they film almost like the whole season all at once.
Yep.
And then just release it one at a time. But you don't have to.
Absolutely.
That was the old way you kind of had to do it because of how just the system worked.
Yeah, and there's still
You
a
don't have to
couple
do
like
that now, but
like the David Letterman thing I like that only comes out like once a month. I think
Yeah,
he
that's
releases
really
an
cool.
episode
Yeah.
once a month, and it's
Yeah.
like that's just such a Letterman thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I really don't want to work. Yeah, maybe once a month.
I mean, he's retired. He's just like
Yeah.
once a month. I'll interview somebody awesome.
He's got to put that epic beard to work somehow.
It's really a sweet
God, it's
beard.
really good.
That first Obama episode was really funny.
God,
just like how
man.
he's like kind of giving him shit about it, like or just like I love people that like poke fun at it.
Non-bearded people,
Yeah.
look at bearded people differently.
Like they're crazy. Yeah, they're just like,
Like,
what are you
why
doing? Are
do
you
this?
doing
Like just
cape?
shave all that shit off. You know? It's
Yeah,
like, fuck you, man. You know what patience it takes to grow a beard?
yeah. Actually, that would be a good characteristic of a politician. Like if you saw one that had a huge beard,
Like,
like this is
takes-
a patient man.
Yes,
I believe in him.
This takes a long time to
Yeah,
do.
no politicians have like huge, awesome, sweet beards.
I mean, fuck. Like, listen, think of the people who we love. Santa Claus. I mean, he's the most loving creature of our
It's
youth.
true.
Giant beard,
Tangled
jolly old man. I'm on my way to being Santa Claus.
It's true.
That's what I want to be. All right. I want all of you to be Santa Claus out there. Just be good to everybody that you see. Love everybody that you see. And if you don't love everybody that you see, stay the fuck home. Don't get out into the world with that nonsense. We don't fucking need it, all right? So I'll leave you with that. Any final thoughts for the good people of the world? Sweet sweeters?
Good night.
That's even better. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
We love you.
Go to bed.
Peace, bitches. All right, now let's say farewell to the good people of the YouTube world. Bye, YouTube people. You got extra content. We didn't charge you extra for it, baby.
That's right.